Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. We're going to talk about the Growler houses again because there's something that's come up that nobody really has thought about, and that is water. For you see, all these extra houses will all need to have water pumped into them, and that's all very fine and pleasant. After all, water's good, water's great, water is one of the best things you can ever have. Seriously. But these 1.5 million houses are going to need an awful lot of water between them. And if they imagine in an imaginary world, imagination, if you build all these houses by 2029, where's the water coming from? In some parts of Britain, already there is low water supply, dangerously low in some places. Britain would be at risk of droughts, of hosepipe bans, of water shortages, of standpipes in the road. We've seen it before. Those of us who remember 1976 remember the horror of having to go up with a plastic bucket. I'm sorry, I've just got to stop. I have just seen Santa driving past on a tractor. Hey-ho. Anyway, we all remember the standpipes. I live in a weird world. This is village life for you. But we all remember the standpipes and having to go out with your little plastic bucket and getting enough water to drink, to cook food with and things. And how the ground cracked up. 76 was a marvellous year when you were a kid like I was. But it was actually hell on earth. But it was there. But this is likely to happen again. All these houses. First of all, where you're building, and a lot of them are built on floodplains, means that water runs off and it doesn't soak into the ground in the floodplain, ready to refill aquifers and refill, for a slow release water drainage out into the water table. No, what happens is it just runs off down into the drains and away, number one. And secondly, the use of the water increases exponentially. We will have droughts. Someone estimated it as being 500 million litres of water a day. An extra 500 million litres of water a day. And then, of course, you've also got to put it in none too fine a point, all the extra sewerage involved every time you flush. 1.5 million houses, half a billion turds a day going into the system. A system that's already full to overflowing. Not a pleasant thought, it must be said. So who's going to do the upgrades on this? How many new plants are going to be built? Nobody wants sewerage works anywhere near them, so you need big infrastructure to take all this sewage away to a remote location where it can be treated properly. Has she thought of all this? Has she fuck? Because she's too thick. Let's be honest. And Steve Reed, the Environment Minister, he said that, we're looking at plans. He says, but unless we are in a position to increase the water supply significantly, it will put an unbearable strain on existing infrastructure. Now, this is a Labour minister saying these houses will provide an unbearable strain on existing infrastructure. That's his way of saying, for heaven's sake, don't do it. Industry sources saying that the country doesn't have the capability or the resources at the moment to cope with this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but have they built any new reservoirs recently? I can't think of one. Luckily, where I am, we've got a big one. We've got two big reservoirs. But if you're further out and you don't have the, say, geography for it, flatlands and things like that, where are you getting your water? Why aren't we building reservoirs? Why aren't we increasing our infrastructure? Oh, that's right, money. They haven't got any, and it costs billions. You go and build a reservoir now. 30, 40 billion pounds? Good luck. It needs to be stepped up. Basically, the building of things like reservoirs, the building of the water grid, if you will, like the national grid, but a national grid for water, so water can be moved all over the place quite rapidly, easily. That needs to be looked into. That needs to be done. You need a much, much better upgrade to the sewerage system. Some of our sewers are hundreds of years old. Well, 150 years old. London. I mean, London's sewerage system is constantly being repaired because it's the oldest in the world. It's fighting a losing battle. But they were never designed for the amount of shite that's being pumped down them. You know, the stuff that goes into the sewers now, it was never designed for that. It's only going to get worse. And as you get more and more people coming in, pulling water, wasting water, throwing water down the toilet, our infrastructure will fail. Not might fail, it will. Everybody in the water industry says it cannot cope now. How's it going to cope with another 1.5 million homes pumping all that out, taking it all in? It just isn't. And when you have, like 1976, the pumps on the streets, thirsty children, you know, you're not able to wash your clothes properly because you've got no water coming in your house. Food and hygiene might well become a problem. Crops will fail because of the water being extracted out of the land to feed, for people to drink, rather than to be sprayed onto the fields to grow the vegetables and things. But Angela Rayner, what's she doing about it? Probably unaware. I mean, blatantly unaware. This woman hasn't got the intelligence to know anything. What the hell does she know of the countryside? What do any of them know of the countryside? You know, these people live in a bubble of ignorance, and it's clear when you look at their policies. No joined up thinking. Has Rayner, doing the houses, talked to the environment people? Has she talked to agricultural people? Has she talked to food supply people? Has she talked to the waste industry and the water industry? I'll give you the answer to that. Not a chance in hell has she done any of that, because she's unaware that she would even need to. And that is the most dangerous part of this mad plan to concrete over Britain and build growler houses everywhere for all the immigrants to live in. Let me know what you think. I'm sure that there'll be plenty of views on this one. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.